Moving into Willow Creek felt like winning the lottery. My wife and I had spent years in a cramped, noisy apartment in the city, but after a surprise promotion, we finally had enough for a down payment on a stunning, white picket fence colonial in the suburbs. The neighborhood was eerie in its perfection. Every lawn was exactly 3 inches tall. Every mailbox was painted the same shade of eggshell white. Even the air smelled like a specific blend of lavender and freshly cut grass. It's a gated community, the realtor had whispered, a strange, tight smile on her face. You'll be safe here. No one ever leaves Willow Creek. Because they never want to. At the closing, I was handed a thick, gold-embossed binder. The Willow Creek Homeowners Association HOA Handbook. Just some minor guidelines, the HOA president, a man named Mr. Henderson, said. He had teeth so white and straight they looked like porcelain tiles. To keep the harmony. The first few days were a dream, but by the second week, I noticed the loop. Every single day at exactly 4 p.m., my neighbors, the Millers, would wheel out their grill. They would wear the same clothes, he in a red polo, she in a yellow sundress. They would invite the same 3 couples over. They would laugh at the same jokes, loud enough for me to hear from my porch. Great day for a burger, isn't it, Elias? Miller would shout to me every time. Every single time. By day 15, I stopped waving back. By day 30, I was losing my mind. It wasn't just the Millers. The mailman arrived at 10:02 a.m. The jogger in the blue tracksuit passed my window at 11:15 a.m. and 3:45 p.m. I tried to talk to my wife about it, but she just looked at me with glazed eyes, flipping through a home decor magazine. They're just consistent, honey. Isn't it nice to have stability? She was starting to use their phrases. Harmony, community, the Willow Creek way. One Tuesday, I decided I'd had enough. I walked over to Miller's yard during their 4 p.m. barbecue. Hey, Greg, I said, stepping onto his perfectly manicured lawn. Don't you get tired of burgers? You've had them for 30 days straight. Greg Miller froze. The spatula stayed hovered over the grill. The laughter from the other couples cut off like a light switch. They all turned their heads to look at me not with anger, but with a terrifying, blank curiosity. It's a great day for a burger, isn't it, Elias? Greg said. His voice was slightly distorted, like a skipping record. No, Greg, it's raining. Look up. A heavy downpour had started seconds ago. Greg didn't blink. The rain hit the hot grill, hissing and steaming, but he didn't move. Great day for a burger, he repeated. His jaw began to unhinge, stretching wider than humanly possible. His skin seemed to flicker, revealing a flash of something dark and oily underneath. I backed away, heart racing. I ran to my car. I was going to get my wife and get out of this Stepford nightmare. I grabbed my wife by the arm, dragging her to the SUV. She didn't fight me. She just sat in the passenger seat, staring straight ahead. We're leaving, Sarah. Now, I forwarded toward the main gate. As I approached the exit, I saw Mr. Henderson standing in the middle of the road. He wasn't moving. He didn't look worried. I didn't slow down. I expected to hit him, but as the car reached the gate, the world shifted. There was a sickening pop in my ears, like a change in altitude. Suddenly, I was back in front of my house, 4 p.m. Greg Miller was wheeling out his grill. Great day for a burger, isn't it, Elias? I tried again, faster. I drove through fences, through backyards. Every time I hit the perimeter of Willow Creek, the world blinked, and I was back in my driveway. The car wasn't even damaged. The fuel gauge hadn't moved. That night, there was a knock on my door. It was Mr. Henderson and the entire neighborhood. They were all standing on my lawn, bathed in the glow of the streetlights. They were all holding burgers. You're disrupting the harmony, Elias, Henderson said. His voice echoed in my head, bypassing my ears entirely. The simulation requires total participation for the data to be accurate. Data? What are you talking about? I screamed from the doorway. Willow Creek is a masterpiece of containment, Henderson explained, his face flickering into a mass of twitching sensors and black wires before snapping back to his human mask. The world outside ended a long time ago. We are preserving the peak of human suburbia for the archive, but the archive hates anomalies. The neighbors stepped forward in unison, one foot, then the other. Eat the burger, Elias, they whispered. Join the harmony. I looked at my wife. She stood up from the couch, walked to the door, and took a burger from Henderson. She took a bite, and for a second, her eyes cleared. She looked at me with pure, unadulterated terror, and then the glaze returned. "It's a great day for a burger, honey," she said. "I'm writing this on a napkins I found in the trash. I don't know how long it's been. The clock always says 3:59 p.m. I've tried to kill myself. I've jumped from the roof. I've swallowed bleach. I just wake up in my bed at 8 a.m. to the smell of lavender and the sound of the H.O.A mailman. I can feel my own thoughts starting to loop. I catch myself thinking about lawn fertilizer. I catch myself wondering if eggshell white really is the best color for a mailbox. The Millers are outside now. Greg is waving. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to take the spatula. Because if I don't join the harmony, Henderson said they'll reformat me. And I've seen what happened to the last anomaly who lived in my house. They're the ones who make the meat for the burgers. Great day for a burger, Greg, I shout, stepping onto the porch. My voice sounds perfect. My smile feels like porcelain. And the archive watches.